1, 2, 3. Ain't no going back, girl, from a former fat girl. Hello there, and welcome back to my channel. Hi, my name is Emerald Hill, and this is where I review what I eat in a day as a fat girl. As a former fat girl, I've lost over 100 pounds, and I'm still chugging away at that weight loss and strength training journey. So thanks for tuning in, and let's just dive right into it. Ooh, so we got some eggs and some meat. Egg and rasher sambos. Ooh, this sounds like an English thing. Ooh, let's check it out. Oh, okay, so we have egg sandwiches, and it looks like she's had 2 of them. It looks like we have white bread with egg and bacon. It kind of looks like female bacon, which looks really good. The really great thing about sandwiches like that is that they are actually pretty good. If you use the right kind of bread, you can really amp up the protein in that. We're starting off with a lot of protein, and that's fantastic. That'll keep her full for the majority of the day, probably, or until the next meal. I really actually myself very much enjoy egg sandwiches. Something that I like to have on the side is maybe some fruit, but I definitely try to incorporate a little bit of veg with mine. I really like arugula or spinach or some kind of green. Sandwiches are really delicious. I used to have double everything. I used to not just have one of something. I would always have 2. If you want to start scaling stuff back, some tips and tricks is to put everything from both sandwiches into one and axe out 2 of those slices of bread. And then that way you're kind of slowly scaling back, or just trying to add something else to the one breakfast sandwich, like the fruit that I mentioned, or some kind of breakfast salad, if you can stand that. And then we have a bottle of water, so I'm going to join you in drinking some water. I made that look a lot more difficult than I needed it to, but yeah. Ooh, and then we went to McDonald's for the least filling food ever. McDonald's with 9 nugget meal with a Fanta and a double cheeseburger. 9 chicken nuggets there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's 10 in there. I don't know. Then we have fries and then the double cheeseburger and a Fanta. You know, something interesting somebody commented once was that if you just get like a double order of chicken nuggets, that's twice the amount of protein, and that's a good idea. I really like the idea of when you go out to fast food that you just focus on the protein stuff. We have a double cheeseburger there and chicken nuggets, and potentially if those were just on its own, it could be probably very manageable. But we also have a side of fries there and a Fanta, and I think the Fanta is the real killer here. That's what's going to have the most sugar in it, and that is what's going to carry the most calories to it. Yeah. But overall, like, I can see this meal and I can, in my brain, it's like, ooh, tasty. But at the same time in my brain, I'm like, oh, like, because I'm not smelling it and I'm not there, I can really see how bland everything looks. Everything is the same color. Even the Fanta is the same color as the fries. That's gotta be a warning sign. All kinds of like little stickers floating around there. That says to me that we're a repeat customer. Now we've moved on to pasta carbonara. Kind of a carb-heavy day for breakfast. Our 2 sandwiches, and then we went to McDonald's, and now we're having pasta. It doesn't look... Now, I'm not the best with pasta portion sizes. This could potentially be 2 portions of pasta. I'm super used to seeing at least 4 portions of pasta for my portion. It could be the right portion. It could be a little over. It could be a lot over. I'm not sure. But I definitely know it's a carb. Very interesting filming technique. She's very good at just like staring straight down into the camera and eating her stuff. So that's very interesting. Okay, so then we had a pop, and now we're having another stint of water. Okay, I'm gonna get through this by the time this video is done, I swear. And that was it. That's what we had for the day. Breakfast was impressive. Lunch, not so much. Dinner, I don't know. It was homemade. That doesn't get a lot of points because I didn't see a lot of protein in there. There could have been, it looked like sun-dried tomatoes to me, but it also could have been little chunks of protein and stuff like chicken maybe. You can have all of those things. It's just also really good to add in better stuff. You know what I mean? Okay, so like for breakfast, the sandwiches are really, really great. You know, go for a walk after. Heck yeah. But also a side of fruit or some kind of greenery in there would be really, really great. And we're also kind of starting the day off with like a lot of oil and fat, right? Eggs, you cook them with oil. The meat, there's fat in there. So maybe just kind of looking at that and seeing like what you could replace with good fats. Avocado is always the number one that everybody goes to, but there's just like different ways that you can make a better sandwich that might be more filling for you. And if you want to go on a weight loss journey, would probably just be more accustomed and attuned to doing that. So like instead of the extra sandwich, making one big sandwich with the protein and the avocado and getting rid of the bread, and then slowly kind of like cutting back on other things like still having 2 eggs with it, but maybe poaching the eggs to get rid of some of the oil, right? Or like looking at the bacon, kind of trying to like gradually come back on that bacon, but then also maybe making better choices, right? Overall, I thought it was a pretty great starting point, right? And that's really fantastic. Everybody likes a good starting point. Good job. On to the next one. What I eat in a day as a fatty. Bing.
What I eat in a day as a skinny twig. I started off with a protein shake and a lump of kale.
Interesting. That doesn't look like what I saw on the screen. A protein shake and a lump of kale. You know, I am not unaccustomed to having whatever I am wanting to have and then having a handful of greenery and just shoving it in there like that because I can't be bothered to turn the greenery into something more interesting. You know, you are just greenery to me. So I can see that happening, but I don't think that's what happened. I think we're joking around. I think we're having a ganter. I think we're having a gob. I think we're gobbing a goo. You know what I mean? What I see is that we're actually having a bagel with coffee.
Health is wealth, and we're filthy rich.
This is so true. My dad, when I was a kid, his favorite breakfast in the morning was a bagel with cream cheese and jam. And these things were thick. Bagel and the cream cheese and then the jam. Incredible. It was like, that's too much sauce. I'm an apple that hasn't fallen far from the sauce tree from the applesauce. But other than that, like, that's not a terrible breakfast. You can make bagels actually very high protein if you concentrated on that. You can make them with Greek yogurt and then have your cream cheese and have your jam and then have your coffee. Depending on what is in your coffee. If there's sugar in there, it may be something to think about. But a bagel is nothing to be crucified over, all right? We're not doing any crucifying here. There's no brigade happening.
Then I had a vanilla latte.
Okay, so it definitely had sugar in it. Lattes are kind of known for having sugar in it. If it's a vanilla one, it probably has a couple pumps of that vanilla syrup.
To shake it out. Okay.
That's what happens. We can all pretend that we're grossed out, but what's your morning look like?
Then I went to lunch with my coworker Tara and then Mommy because we all work together.
Lunches with Mom are the best lunches. Not just because she's paying, but because of her company. That sounded horrible. What is wrong with me? Am I a bad person?
They had to drag me to Blaze Pizza because, again, a bitch is not a pizza bitch, okay? And Blaze is my least favorite pizza. But guess what? I'm gonna eat. Regardless, I'm gonna eat.
Does anybody feel bad for Blaze? Person's coming into my store and announcing to the world they don't even like pizza and they don't like my pizza. Get out of my... I like pizza. And Blaze, I think you're looking pretty darn good.
Oh, the slurp. Then I washed it down with the oh so delicious Coke.
Okay, so we had a whole pizza for lunch and then we washed it down with a full sugar Coca-Cola.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, Pepsi's better than Coke. I'm so sorry. I laid in bed like a lady.
I agree. I think Diet Pepsi is better. I think Diet Pepsi is better than Diet Coke.
Crazy sack of shit and had goldfish, and then we went to Taco Bell. And I had...
Okay, so she had goldfish in the dark, and then we went to Taco Bell.
3 stuffed tacos, just meat, cheese, and sour cream.
Okay, so we had 3 stuffed tacos, meat, cheese, and sour cream.
A nacho fried steak burrito, and a cheese quesadilla with extra cheese and creamy jalapeno.
Oh, and a cheese quesadilla.
And if you have something to say, that's fine, you can say it. because guess what? I'ma still eat.
Okay, so while you're eating, that's awful. I'm sorry, that was bad. So there was 3 of those cheese and sour cream and meat things, and then we had the quesadilla, which also had a lot of cheese on it. And then we had the full sugar drink thing. Just looking at it, I'm just seeing like a lot of carbs and a lot of cheese and a lot of sugar. So the problem with cheese is it's obviously delectable, but it's also just like so high in fat and carries a lot of calories in that way, and it makes you feel, I don't know, not you personally, but it makes me feel kind of bunged up sometimes. Just like the plethora and the amount of cheese is amazing. But yeah, so I don't know, it's not that great of a day. I have this problem where I'm like, I just want to throw in the towel. And I saw somebody iterate this perfectly with an image. She took a pot of coffee, poured herself a cup, spilled a little bit, and then was like, okay, and then poured the rest of the coffee pot on the floor. And I was like, that represents me perfectly. Because whenever I go out to eat, I'm like, okay, so I guess I get to go out and eat for the rest of the day. And then it turns into the next day. And then it turns into the rest of the week. And it's like, you know what? Just because I made that little slip up, just because I did that little spill, doesn't mean I have to throw away the rest of my life. And then also, on top of that, we're just having cheese left, right, and center. A really great cheese is cottage cheese because it carries more protein in it, but this is something that is obviously like a fave food, and it's really hard to kind of peel yourself back from cheese because we all know we're eating way too much cheese and we're refusing to weigh it out because we all know how little amount of cheese we're supposed to be having. Probably the biggest thing that I would recommend is number 1, looking at real food, non-processed food, not going out food, but then also the reality check of how much is this stuff actually, right? We got to start looking at nutrition labels and we got to start thinking about stuff.
It's fine, you can say it. Because guess what? I'ma still eat. And then I washed it down with a Baja Blast. Okay, love you.
And I love you too. There could just be tastier food for you out there. You know, you don't have to have cheese and bread for the whole day. You know what? And also, I have a bone to pick with you. You're gonna shit on pizza, and then you're gonna go to Taco Bell and have a different form of pizza. And then for breakfast, you basically had breakfast pizza? What are you shitting on pizza for? Everything you ate was bread and cheese. That just eats whatever. And we're starting off with a vanilla peanut butter banana smoothie in our adorable, adorable, adorable outfit that might not be appropriate for our fall winter times. I can see that there's a little sleeve there because you underestimated how cold it still is. This is the other thing about smoothies and stuff. Unless it's protein based, it's basically just a milkshake. And even worse, if you're not measuring out the peanut butter and stuff that you're using, it's basically just a fat shake. I'm sorry, but it is. It's so true. I can't hold back from saying stuff like that anymore because when I was a kid and I was growing up and I was being bamboozled by all this stuff and I was making it wrong and then I was going backwards instead of going forwards, I got mad. And now I'm getting mad at you. I'm just kidding. She had a better breakfast than I did. Spinach, sausage, egg bites, cauliflower hash browns, avocado, and tomato. It's perfect. I had that egg sandwich that I was talking about, and she's having cauliflower-based stuff. Oh, good for you. That's perfect. No notes. Excellent. Hello, booby. Turkey, avocado, cheddar protein wrap. That looks really good. The only thing I'm going to say about that wrap is that it doesn't look very appealing.
That looks really good.
And I could be completely wrong, but maybe it doesn't taste very good. You don't need to have the gross multi-grain wraps unless you're, going for the stuff that's inside them, the nutrients and things like that. Or maybe there's a different reason, digestive stuff, right? But other than that, you don't have to, unless it has more protein in it too, you don't have to focus on getting creepy, weird wraps. You can just focus on not getting the most calorically dense wrap. Because some of those things are like 300 calories, and that's unacceptable. 2 string cheese. Okay, so we're going back to our roots of dairy. Fun fact. Those string cheeses are really easy to make mozzarella sticks. Do with that information what you will. I got pretty rizzed up. Nope, I got razzed. I was razzed for liking Asian pear. And I refuse to acknowledge anybody who doesn't like Asian pear. That's right. I said it. Wow. Wow, homemade beef and bell pepper cauliflower rice baked thing, 10 out of 10. I bet it was. It looks amazing. I think there's cheese on it, but who cares? It's beautiful. Fudge popsicle. Eat it. You got it. Just stick it in there. You got it. Yeah. Enjoy it. Yeah, you had a beautiful day. You had a wonderful day. The only thing that I would kind of take a look at is that banana peanut butter smoothie, because that might be where a lot of like unnecessary calories are popping in. Other than that, you had a wonderful day. You had a better day than I did. I'm very jealous. You should contact me and tell me what to do, because that's crazy. That's amazing. Good for you. Aw. Bye. An orange cat. I love orange cats. What I ate today as a fatty.
What I ate today as a fatty.
She's got her phone sticking out of her butt. What? Should I do that? Nope.
Morning fatties. I made breakfast burritos.
Good morning.
Egg whites, potatoes, peppers, onions, spinach.
Now, those look really good. The only note that I would have is that when I eat carbs, I actually try to only eat one source of carbs. So right now we're getting it from potatoes and the wrap. Ideally, the potato is better. But if I were to just like make my note, I would say like axe on the potato in the wrap, because I don't know how many calories those things are. Again, some wraps are great and some wraps are crap. Some wraps are 300 calories each and some wraps are 150 and it's fine. It's just something, good to pay attention to. And what's going to keep you full? Is it carbs or is it protein? It's kind of a mix of both. Getting those ratios is always a fun little game you get to do. I mean, and also they look really great. I'm here pooping on them, but like she made a homemade breakfast. That's awesome. What am I saying?
I'm adding sugar-free cupcake syrup.
What a fun... I like this little fun thing that people do with their heart-shaped plates and their enormous coffee things. I think that this is cute. She has sugar-free cake stuff for her coffee, matcha stuff, and then foam, green foam.
10 out of 10.
Great. I'm so glad you like your grass birthday cake foam drink. Excellent.
Today's raw day activities include Dr. Pepper, zero sugar, of course, and some chia.
I love Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. I have some in my fridge right now. I love it. We haven't had our water yet, but I am going to take a swig because I'm thirsty. I haven't mastered this mouth hole yet. Anyway.
We got this here sweet potato salad.
Oh, we got a sweet potato salad. I wonder what the dressing is, but that looks really good. And it's like kind of a smaller portion size, so that's very interesting. The only thing that I'm really concerned about with that salad is the dressing. It could be anything. It could be cottage cheese. It could be full fat, whatever the hell, right? And so that's what the majority of the calories are going to come from, is the salad dressing. I would say probably a 6 out of 10 for that salad alone, just because it's like, you made it at home and it's a salad, but it's also like, there's no protein in it, and it could be like crazy. It could be like 300 calories for that thing.
For dinner, we got chicken, some green beans, and some taters.
Beautiful. That's a perfect dinner. It's an excellent dinner. It's homemade, chicken, potatoes, and asparagus maybe, and green beans. It's perfect. So I would say that that's a pretty perfect looking dessert, right? It's portioned out. She has the portion of angel cake, I'm assuming, and then ice cream, and then fresh strawberries, and then whipped topping. Come on, you can't get any better than that. If she wanted to, she could make protein ice cream. She could make a protein little cake thing instead. As long as everything is within the caloric thing that you're going for, limitation you're going for, it's great. It doesn't have to be super high in protein. So overall, I would say that this person had a really, really great day. Other than that, I would say just replace that snack of chips with something fresh, like fruit or vegetables, or like a protein thing or something. But other than that, I think she did a really great day. We got a lot of really good days in there. I'm excited. I'm impressed. I'm inspired. I'm happy about that. And a lot of those things were like made at home, and that's really fantastic. Sometimes I get into this weird rut where I really want to eat out all the time too. And it makes me sad. Like, it makes me sad that I eat out and I feel bad, and then I want to eat out again and I don't want to make anything. And even if I do make something, it's really big and I want to eat an enormous portion size of it. And it's just kind of this cycle of shame and regret and feeling not good enough and things like that. And here it was very inspiring to see other people achieving their goals and making things at home and being able to have something out, but maybe the rest of the day is homemade. Beautiful, fantastic, perfect. And I really want to try those cauliflower hash browns. I thought they looked good. Give me a like. I hate it. Don't you hate it? Don't you hate when people say, give me a like, give me a subscribe, turn on the bell icon, comment down below. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to make it different. I don't know how to make it fun. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, comment down below, turn on the bell icon button, please. Thanks so much. My name is Emerald Hill. I really appreciate you being here. This is my favorite thing to do. And bye for now. Have a great day. See you later. Tell me if I'm doing a good job. What? Did my makeup look like that the whole time?